Hi everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I hope you're all doing well today, and today is the first day of October 2020, and so I thought it would be maybe a good topic to talk about how to prepare for the winter months ahead. If you are anything like me, you've probably still been spending some time in quarantine, isolating, sheltering in place, physical distancing, whatever you want to call it. I have been doing this since around March 7th of this year. It's hard to believe that I've been doing that this long. But I have an autoimmune condition that affects my eyes, and so it is very important for me to take care of my eyesight as much as possible, especially since I rely on it so much to create the work that I do. So I have been isolating and sheltering in place for the majority of the past 7 months or so, and it doesn't look like we are going to be ending this quarantine anytime soon, and so going into the winter months can be a little bit challenging. As an artist and as somebody who works alone a lot anyway, even introverts can miss people, miss friends and family. And I do have my dog Maven and my husband who I share my home with, but it still, is lacking that contact with people that I know and love. So, ways to get through the winter. How are we going to navigate this winter? Well, I have a few tips of things that I am going to do that I thought that I would share with you. This may not be anything that you're even interested in, I don't know, but I thought that there has to be people out there who are in the same boat as I am, and maybe you are also trying to think about how you're going to get through the winter. So I'm going to share with you my plans, what I intend to do, so let's get started. So the first thing that I intend to do, and I've actually been doing this, but I'm going to ramp this up for winter, is exercise. And I'm not talking about training for a triathlon or spending hours on the treadmill or anything like that. I'm talking about exercise for creatives. And that involves doing stretches, doing maybe Pilates. Yoga is terrific for the body. Yoga is terrific for artists. This is my top thing that I wanted to share with you first, because it is one of the most important, to be able to not only improve your mood for the winter, because it keeps you moving, and when you feel better physically, you feel better emotionally, but also because it will protect your body. When I first started doing art as a full-time career, I would wake up, I would, in that blissful honeymoon stage where I would wake up in my pajamas and get started on my work with a cup of tea, and before I knew it, it was 5 o'clock and I had not moved. I was creating art that whole time. And as wonderful as that is for the first few months, even for the first few years, you will ruin your body if you do not take care of your physical self. So what I intend to do more of this winter is to stretch more and to incorporate yoga, strengthening into my exercise routine so that it protects my hands, that it protects my shoulders, that it protects my neck, because we're all looking down a lot, that it protects my back. These are all areas that are heavily affected. With any creative that you talk to that has been doing this for a long time, they will tell you that being in the same position day in and day out wrecks your body if you don't give yourself enough breaks. So that's why I'm really stressing this for you. You don't want to make the same mistake I made. I ended up having to do major shoulder surgery. I've had neck issues, I've had back issues, shoulder issues. I would get headaches. Take care of your body and incorporate exercise into your winter routine, however you want to do it. That that will be a great way to boost your mood and to really help prepare you to be stronger for the upcoming year, because there's a lot of things we want to do in 2021 that we haven't been able to do in 2020. So we want to be strong and healthy to be able to do that. Okay, number 2, this is the second thing that I intend to do this winter that I think is going to help me break through the monotony of just the whole day-to-day kind of living in the movie Groundhog Day over and over and over again. Taking a class, an online class, it doesn't have to be an art class. For me, I intend on taking an art class. I think I mentioned this before in another video, but in 2020, I decided to take Olga Furman's Paint Your Heart and Soul class. And she has dozens of artists that participate in this. You get one lesson a week and you pay one fee, and it gets you through at least 52 lessons from different artists for the course of the entire year. There's a Facebook group where you can post your images and get feedback, and it's a really great community, and it has taught me a lot. Search online for YouTube is a great resource. There are a lot of artists that will happily teach you the things that they know how to do on their YouTube channels. A lot of artists who don't want to be on YouTube. As an introvert, I kind of get that, not wanting to be kind of in front of people. A lot of artists have blogs that they post photos and their whole process of how they do things. I've always wanted to learn how to do encaustics. I think I might try that this winter. It scares the heck out of me because I have no idea how to do it, but it fascinates me, and I love the results that encaustics give. Everyone I see that does it, I'm like, I've got to get in on that. But I don't know of any real classes that I could take to do that, but I did come across a couple of blog posts just through a simple Google search. So taking a class is another way to sort of break yourself from the monotony, get yourself an expanded skill set. You may love your oils, you may love your pastels, but if you teach yourself something new, you might incorporate, that into what you're currently doing, and you may end up becoming a mixed media artist, who knows. But classes, I think, are a really great way to do something that just helps to break up the day-to-day drudgery of getting through winter. So that's another thing that I intend to do this winter. Okay, so the third thing I intend to do, and I did this the last couple of seasons, and it really improved my mood, but to get a sunlight alarm. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of these before, but I have one particular one that I use, and it is the best alarm clock that I have ever had in my life. I don't like being jarred awake in the mornings with blaring music, or I don't like to be startled awake. And this particular alarm, all it does is mimic the natural daylight. It's got a special bulb inside that mimics daylight. And as you know, going into the winter months, it gets dark. It is like dark in the morning, it's dark early in the evening, and there's just not a lot of sunshine, especially where I live here in Indiana. There's not a lot of sunshine in the wintertime, and my mood is greatly affected by the lack of sunshine. So having lighting in the house that mimics natural sunlight has been proven to boost the mood. So my alarm clock, whenever I want it to go off, I set it for, let's say, 6 o'clock in the morning, and around 5:30, 5:15, it will start to come on, and it will just produce a very subtle glow. And then as the morning progresses, as it gets closer to the time that you're supposed to wake up, the light becomes a little bit brighter, and then you naturally wake up on your own. And by the time the alarm goes off, which it's not really an alarm, the alarm itself is the light. The light will be like at full capacity, so it will be at its maximum brightness at the time you designate. So you slowly wake up. And when you wake up, your room is flooded with what really looks and feels like natural sunlight. And it is a great mood booster. And I have another small sunlight lamp that I use near my desk, and you just put it on you basically, and it really boosts the mood. So I will put a link to that below, the one that I use, but there are several others. Just make sure that you get one that contains the right bulbs, because you want something that's going to mimic natural sunlight. But that is another thing that I intend to do, is incorporate my natural sunlight lamp / alarm clock into my winter routine, so that I can feel like I am being bathed in sunlight. And my final tip for getting through the winter months is to give back somehow to your community. For me personally, whenever I'm feeling down, if I can help somebody out, it lifts my mood. It helps me to feel better. And if you're thinking, well, I don't have anything to contribute, not so. Everybody has something that they can contribute. Even in lockdown, even when you are isolating from other people physically, there are still things that you can do to be helpful to others. If you know of a tip or trick for the art skill that you are doing, if you have an Instagram account, put a video on Instagram and share whatever tip or trick you've learned with your following. Create a Facebook group for other like-minded people so that you can support each other. Either, if it's art, it doesn't have to be art related. It can be anything, just to develop a sense of community. Early on in lockdown, I realized that there was a nursing facility not very far from my house, and I started to realize that the elderly that were in nursing facilities all over the country, the world even, were all under complete lockdown, where they were not allowed to see their family, their friends. And now here we are heading into the winter months, and these places are still in complete lockdown, where their families have not held their hands for months. So early on in the pandemic, I set out to create cards and deliver them to my local nursing facility so that they could be passed out by the director there. And I think I only was able to get like 20 or 30 cards made, but that's 20 or 30 people that now know that somebody is thinking about them. And so that is a great way to boost your mood, to sort of help you get through the winter months. Just finding some way to give back to your community, whether it be your local community or your online community. That's something that I intend to do this winter, and hopefully that will help get me through that last bit of winter, and sort of get us prepared mentally for the coming spring. So that's it, you guys. I don't know if this video was helpful. I don't know if you learned anything, but I hope that it provided some information. I don't know, maybe sparked a little bit of interest, but this is kind of where I am at right now, and I hope that you all are doing well. I hope you are staying safe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.